Hey everyone, and welcome back. Today we're switching gears a bit for a deep dive into something I think you'll find super intriguing, even if it's a little outside our usual lane. We're talking about those keys to unlocking some serious life changes with, get this, Mike Murdock's 7 keys that will change your life.
Yeah, I love digging into this kind of stuff. And Murdoch's work is all about that planting seeds for growth. He's
Hmm.
got this whole philosophy around honoring the difference between where you are now and where you want to be.
It's all about that transformation, right?
Yeah.
And he lays it out in these 7 keys. So should we just jump right in?
Let's do it.
Okay, key number 1. Your rewards in life are determined by the problems you solve. I don't know about you, but that's like the opposite of how I usually approach
All
problems.
right. Like the first thing I usually think is, how do I get out of this? But Murdoch's saying, no, run towards them.
Okay, I'm intrigued, but also a little scared. How does that even work?
Well, think about it. The harder the problem, the more you learn figuring out how to solve it, the more resilient you become. Murdoch actually says that the universe, feels obligated to reward problem solving. I like those odds. What do you think?
Okay, so not just like enduring problems, but actually seeking them out.
Well, not necessarily seeking out problems, more like seeking out opportunities. Because those opportunities, they usually come with their own sets of
Yeah.
challenges, right? And it's in
Mhm.
overcoming those challenges that we grow, we learn, we level up.
I like that level up, like in a video game.
Exactly. And Murdoch's big on facing those challenges, not with dread, but with joy.
Because nobody wants to work with a grumpy Gus who's always complaining.
Totally.
So embrace the challenge,
Yeah.
because it's leading you ultimately to something bigger and better. All right, key number 2 is where things get a little interesting.
Mhm.
Murdoch says, Satan will always attack those next in line for promotion.
Yeah, no, that one can be a little out there, especially if you're not coming from a religious background.
Right.
But even if we just look at it metaphorically, think about it. When are you most likely to face resistance, to hit those roadblocks?
It's when you're trying to do something big,
Right.
right? Something outside your comfort zone.
Exactly. When you're pushing boundaries, going for something significant, it's like those spiritual battles, as Murdoch calls them. They really heat up when you're on the verge of a breakthrough. He's saying those obstacles, they're often a sign you're on the right track.
I like that. So, like David and Goliath, right?
David was not supposed to win that fight, but he did. And it completely changed the course of his life, launched him into a whole new level.
So those adversaries, those challenges, those are almost like mile markers on the road to success. They mean you're actually making moves, which is kind of a cool way to look at it. Now, key number 3 takes a turn toward letting go.
Uh,
Murdoch says, what you're willing to walk away from determines what God will bring you to.
ooh, that's a good one. This one's all about making space for something new. To make room for those blessings, sometimes you have to let go of what's no longer serving you.
I get that. It's hard, though.
It is, but it's like, imagine you're trying to pour more tea into an already full cup. What's going to
You're
happen?
going to make a mess.
Exactly. You have to create that space first. You have to let go of what's no longer serving you to make room for those new opportunities. It can be scary, yeah, to walk away from something familiar, even if you know deep down it's not really working for you anymore. It could be a job, a relationship, even just an old way of thinking that's holding you back.
It's like hitting the reset button,
Right.
which can be scary, but also kind of exciting.
Absolutely. And you know what? Letting go, it often leads to the most amazing growth because you're forced to confront your fears, to figure out what really matters, and to step into a more authentic version of yourself.
Love that. Okay, so we're clearing out the old to make room for the new. Speaking of new, key number 4 is all about how our actions, they kind of ripple outwards. Murdoch says, what you're willing to make happen for others, God will make happen for you.
I love that one.
It makes you think about generosity in a whole new light, doesn't it?
It really does. It's like you're planting these seeds of goodwill that, they grow into something so much larger than yourself. Because when you act with that generosity, that kindness towards others, it creates this ripple effect.
And it's not even just about like karma or some cosmic reward system. I mean, yeah, that's cool and all. But honestly, just helping others, it feels good.
Right. Just feels good to do good.
It gives you this sense of purpose, a
Yeah.
sense of fulfillment that you just don't get from just focusing on your own needs all the time.
Hmm.
Plus, it kind of ties back to key number 1, doesn't it?
How so?
Well, if you're helping others, you're often solving a problem for them, aren't you?
Absolutely. You're lending a hand, you're helping someone overcome a challenge, big or small. And that act of service, it creates this really beautiful, positive feedback loop. because you're solving a problem for them, which can then lead to new opportunities, new rewards for you.
It's like this beautiful exchange of energy and support, lifting each other up as we go. I like that. Okay, key number 5 takes a more, I don't know, introspective turn, I guess you could say. Murdock says, the seasons of your life will change every time you decide to use your faith. Now, I know we're not here to get all preachy, but even if you're not religious, there's something powerful about that idea of seasons in life, don't you think?
Absolutely. I think of those seasons as metaphors, for the different chapters in our lives, because we all go through periods of growth, of change, even times of stillness or hardship. And what Murdoch is saying is that you have the power to shift those seasons, not necessarily control them, but shift them by choosing to act with faith.
So even if things feel stagnant or like you're stuck, you're not stuck there forever.
Exactly. You have the agency to initiate change, to step into a new season.
But it takes courage, right,
Yeah.
to make that shift.
It does. It takes faith. And that faith, it might be faith in yourself, in a higher power, or even just faith in the possibility of something better. Think about it like this. Imagine a flower pushing through the hard ground, to bloom. That takes a tremendous amount of faith, doesn't it?
To believe that the sun is there, the rain will come.
Exactly.
Wow. Okay, that's a beautiful way to look at it. It's about trusting in the process and having the courage to keep moving forward, even when you can't see the finish line yet. I like that a lot. All right, we are on to key number 6, which is all about the power of respect. Murdoch says, what you respect, you will attract.
Ooh, that's a good one.
Seems simple enough on the surface, right?
Yeah.
But I have a feeling there's a lot more to it than meets the eye.
Oh, definitely. Because this isn't just about, using your manners. Murdoch's talking about a deep, genuine appreciation for something or someone. And that respect, that admiration, it acts like a magnet. It draws similar energies into your life.
So if you're constantly surrounded by negativity, by disrespect,
Yes.
it might be a reflection of what you're putting out there.
It could be, yeah. Or what you're allowing into your space. Remember, respect is a two-way street.
Always. Okay, so choose your influences wisely, folks. Surround yourself with what you want to attract more of, whether it's people, opportunities, even just vibes.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
like attracts like, right.
Right. And, Murdoch even links respect or, honor, the highest form of respect. He even links that to wealth. But I think it goes beyond just financial abundance,
For sure. It's about attracting opportunities, relationships, experiences that align with your values, with your aspirations. Because when you value and respect yourself and others, you create a more positive, fulfilling life overall. It's about building a life you can be proud of, right?
Yeah.
One that you respect, brick by brick. Okay, we've arrived at key number 7, the grand finale. And it feels like it kind of ties everything together. Murdoch says, seed faith is sowing what you have been given to create what you have been promised.
Ooh, I like that one. Seed faith.
It makes me think about, helping others, planting those seeds of goodwill we were talking about earlier.
It's absolutely connected because this key, it's all about recognizing the amazing gifts that you have, your skills, your talents, your resources. Those are your seeds. And when you use those to help others, to make a difference in the world, you're investing in your own growth at the same time.
So it's not about just, like, hoping for the best. It's about taking action, right? Putting those gifts to work.
Yes. It's about informed action, Murdoch talks about this like divine instruction, but you can think about it as like having a vision for your life and then seeking out the knowledge, the guidance to make it happen. Like, it's kind of like planting a garden, right?
I see where you're going with this.
You wouldn't just like scatter seeds randomly and hope for the best, would you?
No, you have to, like, prepare the soil, plant them strategically.
Exactly. You'd give them water. You'd make sure they have the right conditions to thrive. It's the same with our own growth, right?
Totally. So what resonates with you about this whole seed faith thing? What seeds are you planting?
Well, it reminds me that we all have something unique to offer, Your seeds, they might be different from mine, but they're just as valuable. And it's when we share them, when we invest them, that's when the magic really happens. Murdoch even uses this example of, like, Jacob working for Rachel for 7 years.
7 years.
Talk about playing the long game.
Wow. That's some serious dedication right there.
It really is. And it shows that, real growth, it often requires patience. It requires perseverance, a willingness to work toward something bigger than yourself, even when it's hard.
Which it usually is, right?
Usually. But so worth it. And, looking back at all 7 of these keys, they really do build on each other, don't they?
They do. It's like this beautiful tapestry.
From embracing those problems to letting go of what's no longer working to acting with generosity and respect and then planting those seeds of faith for the future.
It's like he's given us this roadmap, guiding us towards a more fulfilling and abundant life. And what I find so inspiring about Murdoch's message is that it's not about waiting for good things to happen to us. It's about actively creating those opportunities.
100%. It's about stepping into your power, recognizing your own potential, and then making those choices that align with the life you truly want to create.
So well said. And on that note, we're going to leave you with this. If our lives are shaped by the respect we give and the problems we solve, as Murdoch suggests, what seeds are you planting today for a more fulfilling tomorrow? What problems are you ready to tackle, knowing that they hold the keys to incredible rewards? Thanks for joining us for this deep dive into Mike Murdoch's 7 Keys. We hope you found it insightful, maybe even a little inspiring, and that you'll walk away with some new tools to unlock your own potential.